Hey, friends! I think we're live. Hello and welcome. Super, super excited to be here once again. It's a gorgeous night. We have it literally just got dark a little, while back. Uh, the fire has been cooperating, and it's difficult to see the position right now, but the moon is arising. So if for some reason it just felt really, really special to be out here at right at the exact moment that it is considered full moon. I think that's the first time that's happened
Yes.
while we've been doing this, right?
Yes. Yes. Because
Hmm.
normally it's late, much, much later, right? So this is great.
Yes, for sure. For sure. So we're happy to be with you here today on this beautiful evening. Thank you for joining. I
Yes.
wanted to say hello to Christine, who is in the chat.
Hey,
And
Christine.
we saw your, the things that you wanted to hopefully work through tonight. And I have my notes here. They're all ready to go. And
Hmm.
Janet Lee is here. Hello.
Hey. Hey, Janet. Welcome.
Yes, are you making pizza?
Right? Is it a pizza night? Yes.
We bought pizza tonight. We bought pizza tonight. No pizza. Audio is fantastic. Oh my God, amazing. Okay, great. I'm using these headsets, so hopefully we won't have any
Mhm.
issues tonight. So yeah, thank you very much for being here. I think we'll give it a couple more minutes just in case
Mhm.
we have anybody that is dropping in. I have to say it was a beautiful day here in Florida. The weather was outstanding. Tonight is prom night for my daughter.
Yes.
And, when she mentioned this, I was like, what? On the night of the full moon? I can't. I'm busy. I can't. Well, that was my first thought. But then after that, I thought to myself, like, on the night of the full moon, I'm like, don't go crazy out there. And
Yeah.
don't let anybody else go
Right.
Don't choose tonight to live on the wild side. How was your day today, Ange?
Today was a beautiful day here in southwestern Ontario, Canada. We finally had sunshine. I actually got a little color on my face just by being out in the vehicle. And we drove to the lake and we were watching the swans. And
Mm.
yeah, it was nice. And I've been spending a lot of time personally with my husband because it's his birthday weekend, along with someone else that we
Ta-da!
know. Yes. So
Birthday.
tomorrow is his official birthday, as you know, because tomorrow is officially Elizabeth's birthday. So I wish both of you like a very, very happy birthday. And I hope um, it's just so nice to be sharing this energy with you on this weekend because of that as well. So
Yes. Hello, Joey, and welcome. Happy to see you here.
hi.
Um, so yeah, oh, that's so sweet. Hello and welcome.
Hey,
Hello
Joey.
and welcome. So, if you're new here, what we like to do obviously tonight is the full moon, and I have a fire going. And literally the moon is right there, but it's difficult to see because I have some trees in the yard. uh, so the view is blocked a little, but a little later it'll rise and we'll be able to see it. But also I remember what we learned when we went to Robin's live, where because the earth is turning, of course the moon isn't always going to be in the same exact location. It's not always going to rise in the same exact location. It's not like the sun rises in the
Right.
in the east, sets in the west, right? The moon kind of moves around. And I
Yes.
remember the first time that we did this was February, I
Yes,
think
February.
February. Yeah,
Hmm.
the moon was on this side, so it's slowly like shifting
Yep.
the opposite way. So yeah, it's pretty cool to watch it.
It is very cool.
Hello, Aquarius Tarot. Is this I shoot,
Uh,
I forgot her name.
Aquarius Tarot is Carolina.
Oh, Carolina. Hi, hi. I'm
Carolina.
trying to. There's a lot of people that have been coming in that are new for me, and I'm like trying so hard to remember everybody's name. Carolina,
Yes.
hello and welcome. Happy that you are
Hey,
here.
thanks
So
for being
yeah,
here.
so we have like the fire, and basically we'll just kind of be in ritual. So
Mhm.
we will be, if you may have noticed that in the chat I pinned the comment for examples of what you might be thinking about would be good for release, because we always hear this like, oh, you got to release what doesn't serve you. And then you're like, yeah, yeah, I'm going to do that. But then, like, do you even know what that means, right? Like,
Right, right.
sometimes it's like spiritual talk. It's just like, wait, what does that even
Mhm.
mean for me? Like,
Yes.
put it on my level. So I put some suggestions of some things that could fall under that category. So, you may have noticed some of the people in chat have started to put some things into the chat, and I'm here to say you do not have to feel obliged to put a specific topic in the chat. If you do, I'll make a note of it, but if you don't, I'll simply write your name here, and then when we're ready, I will go over and I'll drop everybody in. But see, I have a bunch that are some people submit their requests early because they know that they might not be here, right? And so they want to make sure to participate. The feedback that I have heard so far on this is that a lot of people say that feel feel they feel it very powerfully
Mhm.
when they hear their name and they see their paper going into the fire, and then you can see
Yes.
the flames like shot, they shoot up, and sometimes the paper like crinkles in very specific shapes. So if I see anything, I'll point that out to you. It may not mean anything to me, but it might mean something to you. So that's what we do. We'll do the release ceremony. We also collect intentions. We have a gratitude jar here. We'll keep any intentions, anything that you are grateful for in this jar. And what I like to do is keep this out under the light of the full moon uh, to help it, right? To help amplify the energies. We have a little bit of a drumming ceremony, and we try to change it up with how we begin the evening. So I have a special treat for us tonight. At least I think so. Hopefully you'll like it too.
Yes.
And anything that you would like to share?
I just again, like I say every time, I'm really, really happy to be here, genuinely and sincerely. To be able to meet again under the full moon, with you, connecting with your energy, and then with people in the community. It's a really sacred time. It's special. I love the space that you've created, and I thank you for inviting me once again to be a part of it. Always leading up to these, I always get really, really excited, and I always, tap into the energies of what this specific moon holds, and so we're excited, of course, to share all of that with you. And oh, Judith has joined us. Hi, Judith. Hey.
Hello, hello, friends. And if we have anybody lurking in the background, please
Yes.
remember to like and subscribe. That really helps small channels like us get our message and our voice out to the YouTube community. I'm hosting the event tonight, but then Ange here, who is joining me, her links are below in the description box. So if you find that this uh, type of thing really resonates with you, if you could do that for us, we would be forever grateful.
Yes, thank you.
All right. So I see Janet's request. Gratitude. Yes, for friendship. That's so
Hmm.
beautiful.
Yes, absolutely.
Friendship. Okay. And then Judith, release. Okay. It's a beautiful evening.
Hmm.
Oh, you guys, I'm not kidding.
What?
A ladybug just came and landed on my laptop.
Whoa.
She's flying around me right now. I'm
Oh my
telling you.
gosh.
I told you, like, I have a connection with these winged insects, like, and she's still here. Ladybugs, dragonflies, butterflies, like, they
Oh.
just appear. And the other day I went outside, like, to grab something. I left something on the table out here, so I came to the patio to grab it. And then I come in, I'm like, look at my arm. What is that? It's like one got on me and tried to come inside with me. I was like, no, no, like, you'll die in here, please. Go back out.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I love that ladybug spirit is here tonight. That's so cool.
Hmm.
Oh,
That's apropos for this moon being the pink moon and the first moon of the spring. I feel like that's absolutely beautiful.
man. I love this.
Okay, I'm just making a note of
Mm.
Judith's release. Okay, addiction. All
So just
right.
reading about Ladybug. Ladybug signifies divine intervention, luck, happiness, guidance, and healing. Having Ladybug as your spirit animal can teach you to trust your instincts, it encourages you to have faith in your decisions, and teaches you to appreciate the little things. Oh.
I'm taking that personal. That was a message I needed to hear, so thank you.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's so
Yeah.
cool. I love it.
Okay. All right, friends. Okay, so Ange, I left off at Judith's.
Yes.
So if any other ones come in, let me know and I'll jot those down and then we can go ahead and get started.
Sounds good.
So I kind of, started on this, along these lines, and then I, veered off as I often do. So I'm going to
That's
kind
fine.
of move out of the way here so that you can focus on the fire. Uh, so for tonight, first of all, this is something that I like to do. Of course, I have a tarot channel. And on this channel, I do, I don't know, a multitude of things, right? I do a lot of deck flip throughs. I go live sometimes and do readings. I talk about journaling. I do a lot of video responses. I like to do spreads. I mean, there's a lot of things. But I feel like right now, this is the one main thing that I'm doing where I feel like we all have the opportunity to come together in community
Hmm.
and put our intentions, because I'm a big believer that there's strength in numbers. And
Yeah.
when we come together as a group to do our release and set our intentions, I feel, oh, hi, Maria. Thank you so much.
Hi, Maria.
Wishing you all. Thank you so much, Maria. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Mhm.
So yeah. So that's why we're here tonight. The whole purpose of this is to create a sense of community, to open up the door for healing, right? Sometimes we know that we have things that we need to heal. We don't exactly know how to do it or how to go about it or how to get
Mm.
started, right?
Yeah.
So hopefully we can open up those doors. And then, of course, for personal growth.
Yes.
I also believe that the universe works in mysterious ways.
Yes.
And when we're faced with life lessons, you know, we either learn from that lesson or we don't, right? And when we don't, then wouldn't you know that the universe will at some point re-put you in a similar situation where you're dealing with the same challenge again to
Yes.
help you, like, and that's going to continue happening, and you'll have people like, I don't understand, why does this keep happening to me? Well, because you didn't learn the lesson the first time, so now
Mm-hmm.
you have to, like, you eventually have to learn so that you could kind of level up and go to the next, phase of your evolution. So that's why we're here today. So if you're home, whether you're, participating in the chat or lurking, I want to make sure to say that, because sometimes we have friends that join us and they really just want to absorb the
Mm-hmm.
energy that we have going tonight. And sometimes in the chat, it takes away a little bit, right? Like, it's hard. Sometimes, you do a meditation, but there's still people typing in the chat. So
Mhm.
you think like how can you meditate if you are typing in the chat? So, however you feel like is best for you, please feel free. If you choose to chat, fantastic. If you choose to kind of sit back and observe, that's wonderful as well. So
Mhm.
if you're home, what I would say is make sure that you have a nice, like a calm and sacred space, wherever you are, and then, kind of set the mood for yourself. I did my best, right, to set the mood. I have the fire going, the moon is right there. It's a beautiful evening. But we don't have to always do all these things, right? Like we could simply light a candle, we could dim the lights, we could put on some, shamanic music or whatever it is that we like to listen to in order to do that. So whatever you need to do to kind of set the space, feel free to do that. I really like having a fire because for me, like fire signifies, transformation. Also purification, right? Like fire purifies things so that new life can be born of it, right? Sometimes you see, I was thinking about this the other day. Several years ago, we had mass fires in our area and it looked horrible for so long. But now, if you pass through that area, it's beautiful, it's lush. You could never notice that there was ever a fire there. Why? Because nature needs that. Right,
Mhm.
periodically nature needs that. And I don't know, in other places I'm sure they do this as well. We sometimes have what they call controlled burns,
Yeah.
right? Where they're doing this to help heal the soil, the land, and regenerate growth. So that's why I have the fire for us here tonight. And what I thought that we could do is start with our opening ritual. Now, we've done different things here in past. Sometimes we do a grounding meditation. Last time we had a prayer for Grandmother Moon, and I really wanted to tap in on the energy of the indigenous people of the land and what they did during these times. And one of the number one things that they did was storytelling. They didn't have a written language. They told stories. They sat and gathered around the fire. They told stories. And this is how they passed their legacy from generation to generation, retelling these stories. My God, the ladybug is back. The ladybug is back. She's so cute. Oh, she's just dancing on top of my computer. So so what I have for you today is a story, and I hope that you enjoy this. And this is in the spirit of the people that came before us, the people that walked before us, and all of the healing energy and the medicine that they have to offer us.
Mhm.
All right. Now, I'm going to be sharing with you the Cherokee lunar legend. And this is the story of the rabbit and the moon. Long ago, Rabbit was a playful trickster and was always full of mischief. And in those days, the moon shone brightly and near to the earth, bathing the world in its silver glow. It was said that the moon possessed a special light, one unlike any other in the sky. And one evening, Rabbit felt a deep longing to possess the moon's light for himself. Okay, he decided to lure the moon down to the earth. Rabbit approached the moon and said, "Oh, luminous moon, your light, it's so pure, it's so beautiful. Won't you come a little bit closer so that we can admire your glow more fully?" I don't know about you, but if I heard that, I would run in the opposite direction. Well, the moon was intrigued by the rabbit's sweet words and descended closer to the earth. And as the moon approached, Rabbit began to weave a plan. He feigned admiration and said, "Why don't you come all the way down, dear moon? We would all love to celebrate your beauty up close." Flattered, the moon obliged and descended completely to the earth. Rabbit, being the trickster that he was, quickly tried to snatch some of the moon's light for himself. But the moon, realizing Rabbit's true intentions, felt betrayed and immediately retreated to the sky, far away from reach. As the moon ascended, it gazed back at Rabbit, and the light it had left behind illuminated Rabbit's fur in patches, creating bright spots that Rabbit still carry to this day. Ever since, Rabbit has been captivated by the moon, staring up at it each night, longing for its light. And so the moon remains in the sky, a reminder to all that its beauty is to be admired from afar, and that trust should never be taken lightly. And that is the story of the rabbit and the moon.
Wow. I've never
Mhm.
heard that story. That is phenomenal.
I was quite tickled. And it's interesting because there's a lot of animals that we think of as trickster animals when we see them in various tarot decks. I never considered the rabbit. With rabbit, I think, oh, abundant,
Right.
but I've never considered the rabbit to be a trickster energy. So it was really interesting.
Exactly, right, because normally in tarot decks, you see the rabbit maybe with the Empress, and you think like you said, abundance or like rebirth or renewal, but never
Hmm.
trickster. So that's a really cool story. Thank you for sharing that. Wow.
Yes. Hopefully you enjoyed that. For one, gosh, I feel like it would be so cool and amazing to be a part of a circle like that where you just tell stories,
Hmm.
around the fire and, over time you just memorize them because you've heard them so many times and then you turn around and you share the stories. I just think that is so cool.
It really is. It really is.
Mhm.
Hi, Renee.
Yes, Renee, hello and welcome. I'm so happy that all of our friends are here. So happy. All right. So, and how do you feel about moving on to our drumming ritual?
Sure. Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Okay. And I have to show you something.
Yeah.
Da da da.
Ooh, you got a bag for her.
I got a bag. Yes.
Ooh.
I've been trying to get one for a while and
Oh, it's
I couldn't find one for this size forever and then I finally found one and I was excited.
it's beautiful. The mandala is beautiful. Wow.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks good.
It fits her
Uh,
personality. I
mhm. All right.
love that.
Well, we didn't talk about this, but I think we can do similar to last time. Hopefully you have your little sound bowl next to you.
Oh, yes, I do.
Awesome. Friends, it's showtime.
Yes.
Ah,
Mm, okay, here we are. Okay, so we'll start by chiming the bowl here, and then we can end with the bowl as well.
mm,
Okay, so we invite you all to, just center yourself. If you have an instrument, like Elizabeth says in the other
mm,
previous episodes, go ahead and grab it and join along with us. The whole idea is for you to connect your own rhythm to the rhythm of the earth, to the rhythm of the moon. And as you all know, like we're all interconnected as well, right? So we're doing this in community. And hi, Brienne, welcome. How are you? We're just about to start the drumming ceremony. So, and if you don't have an instrument, that's okay. Just relax and listen to the rhythm of our drums, and we'll begin now. was so good. Yeah, I think Renee, I think you're right. I think that maybe we found the same resonance in the drum frequency, and I think it was creating
The
this. It was,
static?
I think so. Yeah, it was kind of different. I was like, wait, what? Because at first I didn't
Powerful.
hear it, and then it would come and go, and I thought, what? Um, so that was pretty cool. All right.
Hmm. The same resonance in the drum frequency. Ooh, that's
Right?
cool.
The drums were like talking. They're like they know each other
Para.
now.
I love this drum.
Mhm.
Wait, I have to say thank you to her for coming into
Mhm.
my life and helping me in
Mm.
so many different ways. And we recently learned that we can consider our drum our wand, our magic wand.
Yes.
So yes, here's mine. Ta-ta!
Mhm. Yes, I love that. I love that. In the Gaian Tarot, they talk about the magician in the Gaian Tarot is a person who's drumming, like tribal drumming, and they talk about the person's drum being the wand, of the magician, and it's so powerful. Hi, Ravneet. Hi.
Hello, lovely Ravneet. Nice to see you here today. I'm just adding more fuel to the fire.
Yes, thank you for doing that. And for anybody that is joining us for the first time, or if you have forgotten, here during this ritual, we invite you to release something into the fire so that you can help on your journey. And also, if you would like to leave any gratitude or manifestation or intention, there's a separate jar that we would put that into. And then Elizabeth would put it under the moonlight to bask in the moonlight all night long to amplify that for you. So, if either one of those things resonate with you and you want to do that, you can go ahead and drop it into the chat. You don't have to share the specifics of what you want to release or manifest, but you're welcome to. If you don't share specifics, we'll simply just write your name on the piece of paper and yeah, the release into the fire can really help to sort of catapult this change that you're wanting to bring into your life. So and just remember, as with anything with change, right, it's great to set your intention. It's great to join rituals like this to do something physically to release it, but then there's also work to be done on your end as well to carry that through. But I just find that when we drop these releases into the fire, it sort of amplifies it and gives us that push that we need to continue to do the work to release whatever it is from our lives. Um, right, Ravni? Look at our magician, right? Yes. Exactly.
I just put a comment into the chat, right? Um, because it's not easy. Sometimes we know that we have shit to do, okay?
Mm,
Like, let's just put it out there. We know that where none of us is perfect.
no.
We have things going on that we need to, but sometimes that could be scary. We don't know where to start. We don't know what to do. We don't want to tell anybody. We don't want to, like, so it's hard because how do you lean on somebody else for support? And sometimes our support system or our network is small, like rather small, right? Like sometimes you don't have that many, friends or family that you could lean on for support because maybe they don't understand the path, the spiritual path that
Yeah.
you yourself are on. And so that's why I'm so happy that we could be here together to do all of this. So thank you
Mm,
for being brave, for stepping forward, just being here, just being present. That in and of itself is medicine. And, I hope it
mhm,
weaves its way into your hearts and helps you turn things around in your life.
mhm. Yes, beautifully said.
Mm.
Hmm.
So, and this is the full moon in the sign of Libra.
Yes,
So I
yes.
thought maybe, you could tell us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. Yes, yes. So, yes, the full moon in Libra, that is where we're at today. And it is Saturday, April 12th, 2025. And so I wrote a little something for us so that we can learn a little bit more of what exactly does this all mean. Now, um, It is the full moon in Libra. Now it is called the pink moon, but we're gonna leave that part to Elizabeth, and she'll explain what the pink part means in a minute. But I will
It's
start by
very in depth and very in depth.
well, when I learned about it, I actually thought it was gonna be a damn pink moon, and that's not the truth. Dang it!
Oh, damn. Well, they post this beautiful pink moon in the sky, and you're like, oh, what time is that? I want to be there for that.
Exactly. Um, okay, so here we go. So full moon in the sign of Libra tonight. So as we sit under this full moon together, in this global community that we have here, I just want to point out that currently the sun is in the sign of Aries. Okay, that's why we have our Aries friend here, Elizabeth, who has a birthday tomorrow. Um, so, okay. And why I'm mentioning this though is because the opposite sign of Aries is Libra. And what I mean
Yes.
by opposite is if you look on a chart, like an astrological chart, and if you look directly across from one another, Aries and Libra are opposite. Okay. And there's lots that you can learn about that. What does it mean to be the opposite? But we're just going to focus strictly tonight on this full moon and what that could mean for us tonight under the full moon. Okay, so the opposite sign of Aries is Libra. I just said that. So we have the fiery Aries, right? And fiery Aries can present sometimes as me first. And then we have Libra that can present as, well, what about us? So, what does that mean under this full moon? It's a powerful dynamic that offers and invites us into a deeper understanding of personal needs versus other needs. Okay. Um, where does something need balancing in your life? Right? Libra is about the balance, and it's about finding that inner and outer balance as well, right? So the inner balance would be more of the aligning with the Aries, and the outer balance is more of the Libra. Libra is known as the alchemist of connection. It's about sacred reflection through the mirror of other people as well. So, the energy of tonight's moon is inviting us to look more closely at emotional clarity, self reflection, and harmony and balance within our lives. But very specifically, the energy of this moon tonight is inviting us to focus on the relationships that we have with others and with ourselves. It is time to focus on recalibrating our connections with others and finding that equilibrium in life. In your life, do you currently have any energetic imbalances in your life? Where are you giving too much or too little of yourself? This is a great time to set boundaries in relationships or release those imbalances where you've been over giving. Um, the energy of this pink full moon will illuminate and bring more clarity around codependency versus healthy interdependence. Right, healthy interdependence is when you sort of, it's like that reciprocity. Where codependency, you're strictly depending on someone else in life for your emotional needs and much more.
Mm.
So this is a great time to reflect on people pleasing versus being authentic. Releasing those people pleasing habits will create so much more room in your life for growth, for the things that you've been wanting to nurture in your life. Are your relationships aligned with your growth? Are you being seen and heard? Have you sacrificed your truth to keep the people um, to keep pleasing other people? Tonight is the night to reclaim your voice. Allow the energy of this full moon to bring you closer to realigning with your personal truth, specifically how you relate to others and maintaining that harmony and balance in your life. Okay, so that's what this full moon is talking about. And I just thought it was so cool because it never fails that every month, the full moon brings us a very specific energy. I mean, overall, full moon is usually always about releasing. It's about, cleansing and sort of making that space for that growth, right? But then depending on what sign it falls under and whatnot, there's always like this specific medicine that it brings. And today it is about, like I said, the this balancing and harmony in relationships in our life. And it brings me to the fact that I'm already currently in studying two books, and it's the Let Them book, The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins, and the Book of Boundaries by Melissa Urban. And these two together are basically exactly what we're talking about in terms of making sure we really sort of take a look at our relationships that we have with others. Are we establishing these boundaries, and are we taking care of ourselves, and instead of just saying yes to everybody with everything, and things of that nature, right? So yeah, a very very powerful energy under this moon to focus on those aspects.
That's beautiful. I love that. Judith, I got you. I just put your name in. I had your release, and I just added your gratitude and your manifestation requests.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh my
Renee says
gosh, did you see
yes.
that?
Renee, I was feeling very tired and down, and I'm not sure why. As soon as I heard those drums, it changed my mood. I feel enlightened. Oh my gosh.
I love that.
Thank you for sharing that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Mhm.
We're so glad that you're
Beautiful.
here in the space with us. And, to all who are watching, thank you, whether you're watching live or on playback. And if you're too shy to chat, that's okay. Remember that under this full moon, you can release, just stare at the flame and just be in this energy, and you can release in that way as well. Um, so hopefully,
Absolutely.
um, yeah, you're all in a comfortable position that you can focus on that tonight. And remember,
Mm.
the energy of the full moon, normally you can feel it 3 days before and 3 days after, right? So it's the most potent tonight, right now under it. However, remember that you can still work with its energy 3 days before and 3 days after, specifically.
Mhm. Yes.
Mhm.
I just felt like I needed to take a deep breath.
Yes.
Like take a deep
Hmm.
breath in. And I did a meditation earlier in the day, and it was like breathing in all the things that we need, but breathing out all the things we're trying to let go of.
Oh, yeah.
And I really like visualizations like that because I find them very helpful. I know that doesn't work for everybody. Some people don't, like to meditate in that way, but I love guided meditations. And I did one today and it was awesome.
Hmm.
All
Yes,
right.
I do like having something to focus on. Otherwise, my mind just kind of goes all over the place.
Yes,
So I
and
do like that.
sometimes even when I'm listening, my mind wanders,
Right.
but it's easier for me to be like, "Whoa, wait, come back."
That's right. A focal point.
Like
Yep.
bring me back, right?
I
So
agree.
so yeah, I love that. All right, lovely people, lovely, beautiful souls in the chat. We're going to be talking about the magnificence that is the pink moon. I know you're dying to know, so I won't leave you in suspense much further. I
Mhm.
let me before I even start, let me say, the moons have been very fascinating to study. So I find it to be, there's a lot that goes into preparing for these events, but I feel like we're learning so much, right?
Yes. Yes.
So I love that aspect. And last month, we had the blood moon, and we looked in the sky, and I was like outside in my lawn chair at 3 a.m. like, ah, here I am, moon, come help me. And it was glorious. It was red, and it was in the high, high in the sky.
Yeah.
And the month before that, it was the snow moon, and we talked about all the things. And this month we have the pink moon, and I just couldn't wait. And so actually, it is called the pink moon because this is the time of year where the flowers, start to bloom.
Hmm.
The moon itself does not turn pink, although there are some lovely images online
Yeah. Yes.
showcasing this pink moon. It doesn't itself turn pink. It's merely called the pink moon because this is when early spring flowers start to bloom. And one in particular is the pink colored wild ground phlox. I am unfamiliar with this flower, actually, but it is pink, and that's where the name comes from. Now, this full moon is also going to be a micro moon.
Mm.
So that means that it will appear slightly smaller and dimmer than usual, but that's because of how far it is from our planet Earth.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that is everything you ever wanted to know about the pink moon.
The pink moon. Yeah.
Yeah.
I read about that too, about the micro moon. I didn't, I've heard of super moon, but
Hmm.
I can't say that I've ever really heard too much about micro moon. So that was interesting to learn that's the opposite of a super moon. Although they say with the naked eye, you can't really tell too much difference in terms of
Yes.
micro moon. It just means that it's further away. But you, from our standpoint on Earth, we can't really tell. But I guess it is, like you said, further away.
Well, in the movies, they show the moon like this big.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So
Yes.
I kind of feel
Um,
gypped.
I
Hey,
remember
John.
John's here. Hey, John.
Yes.
I remember living in Arizona and seeing how big the moon like appeared there, and it almost was like unbelievable. I was like, "Wait, what?" Like I felt like I was in a movie. I was like,
Yes,
"Oh
like
my gosh."
it's closer here. I
It's
knew it.
yeah.
It's their spiritual powers that bring.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. Yeah, and this pink moon too, like Elizabeth was saying about the blooming of the flowers and whatnot. It's the first full moon of the springtime, right? So in springtime we think about renewal and rebirth um and so I like to sort of, tie that together and call it like emotional blooming, right? Because
Ooh.
that's what the moon's all about is emotions. I mean, it's mostly about water, and water's about emotions. And like we've said in other episodes too, it's like, the moon controls the tides of our oceans. And what are we mostly made up of? Water. So naturally, you know, um, I know I definitely get way more emotional around the full moon. And then, of course, if you tie that in with your monthly cycle, if you're female, then you're just an emotional, bucket of water sometimes, and that's okay. um, I was watching Lady Gaga last night for Coachella when she was performing on stage, and it was a powerful performance. And I found myself in all kinds of emotions. I was happy, and then I was dancing, and then I was sad, and then I was crying, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" It was great. So it's a great time for release. Oh, the butterfly, the ladybug is on you. Oh, look at her. That is so cool. Oh, and then she flew away.
Yes, she keeps like leaving and coming back, leaving and coming.
Oh my
I
gosh.
love you too, Ladybug.
Oh, that's so cool. Judith said, I put the fireplace on and burned some Palo Santo when both of you were drumming and while you were reading about the full moon in Libra. I love being with both of you on these full moons. It brings me peace and calming. Judith, we
Mm.
love you too. Thanks for being here.
I love that. And actually, like sometimes I start to feel a little bit of anxiety because I think to myself, my gosh, like what happens if the weather doesn't cooperate? What happens if it's too hot? What happens if, for example, today that my neighbors were outside hooting and, hollering for hours on end? And I was like, oh my gosh, like like
Yes.
what happens
Mhm.
and so sometimes I'm like, well, should we like just plan on just doing them all the time, or should we just kind of wait and see how it goes? But like even if we weren't able, like say it was cloudy and we couldn't see the moon, or that it was rainy and we couldn't do the fire, it's helpful for me to know that people connect to the ritual and the ceremony aspect of it, because
Mhm.
maybe we can do it. We just have to kind of reinvent, how we do it.
Right.
So thank you for that.
Yeah, that would actually be really cool. Like if we couldn't have the actual fire, I mean, still like writing things on a piece of paper and ripping up the paper, right, would
Hmm.
be another way to release. Like there's always things that we can do. Um, that would be really cool. I think that Renee would like a release as well,
Renee.
to let go of frustration that others have caused, so I can be more peaceful inside. Hmm.
Okay. I have Renee. Anybody else?
Thank you. Yes, if there's anyone else in chat that would like your name added to the release, so that what that means is she'll drop it into the fire, and then it will help you to release something that you're wanting to release in life. Yes.
Desi,
Hey, Desi.
hi.
Hey, hey. So glad to see you here. Hey.
Shopping, shopping,
Oh,
shopping.
Carolina says, ever since I moved to Arizona, the moon here has been spectacular. So it is
Mm,
magical. There, it is way. I mean,
mhm.
the moon is magical in general, but in Arizona, there's something extra magical about it. Uh,
John, John has a release.
oh, John release, and also Ravneet
Ravneet,
release,
a release. Okay, hold on.
burning old emotions, and Carolina for release.
Okay, Carolina.
And John says, releasing impatience and anger.
Mm, don't release me, John.
No.
You know that I joined Rain on her channel, and she did that quiz where, oh, who would you be a match to? Were you there? And so
Yes.
She put John, and we were like scored the highest of anybody that better than Moon Scarab and Miss Tarot D.
Yes, that was great. That was great.
Oh, that was hilarious.
Um,
Okay, Desi, I got you.
release procrastination. That's a really good one. I could use that too. Yes. Oh, Bobby's here, driving in Wayfinder. Can't reply. Okay, well, drive safe and thanks
Okay,
for being here.
all
Bobby, do you
set.
want us to add your name to the release or to the manifestation jar at all? Let us know and we can do that for you.
Desiree wants to release procrastination. My girl,
Mm.
she went live from her bed this morning.
Oh, did she? Desi, you
She
did? Oh
went
my
live.
gosh.
Yes, it was
Wow.
awesome. She was like, "What's happening here? I don't understand. I don't know how to end it." And it
I
was
love
the
it.
best thing I ever seen. It was awesome. Ah,
Hmm.
manifest. Ooh, that's a good one. Okay.
Oh.
This is an interesting point that I want to mention. I just see this manifest, right? Uh, we all have a team, right? A spiritual team.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter how you think of it. You know what? You could say, okay, my guides, my angels, ascended master, you know, goddess, god energy, whatever it is. And they're here and ready for
Mhm.
whatever you need. But they will not be able to lift a finger to do anything unless you specifically say what you want them to do for you.
That's right.
So be clear with your communications. Don't be afraid to ask them, because if it's in your in the for the benefit of your higher self, it's going to happen.
That's right.
It's going to happen.
Bobby has a release of anger as
Okay,
well.
Bobby.
It's a good one. That's right. And without your sort of invitation, I mean, they're at standby. And don't get me wrong. Like, let's say, um, if you're about to be in a car accident or something like that, like definitely you have these spiritual team to guide and protect you always. But what Elizabeth is saying is that if you want something very specific to change or to happen in your life, again, this is part of that work. You have to voice it. Use your throat chakra. You can also use your third eye. You don't always have to voice it. You can write it. Um, you could do some dream work around it, but there's things that you have to do to let spirit know you're ready, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
it's true, yeah. I mean, like I always say, setting an intention is one thing, but you always have to have action to back that up. Otherwise, an
Yes,
intention is just like a nice, pretty thing sitting there on your altar or on your computer or on your phone, right?
yes,
You have to do something with it, right? So,
absolutely. That's what I like to lovingly call doing the work.
yeah, yeah,
You know,
exactly.
I'm gonna say this again because I love to say it. Just even by being present here tonight, you have made a commitment to yourself and you
That's right.
are making those first steps to do the work to help you get from where you are to where you need to be.
That's right.
Please, oh, come on, John. God's sake.
Forget. Is that specific enough? Yes. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. Yes, like being specific that you want more money in your account. Yes, that is very specific. Um Oh, Janet, I release worry about family members. The list got bigger. Just thinking about it. Yep, that's okay. No problem. And even after the fact, even after your name gets dropped into the fire, you can continue to hold that intention and hold that thought and release whatever comes up. Because remember, that's how emotions happen. Sometimes they bubble up from kind of like a cauldron, they're bubbling up to the
Hmm.
surface, right? And
Yeah.
so sometimes things will bubble up maybe even after this live ends. It's okay. You can still release. You can still say it out loud, write it, think it, you can definitely continue to do it for sure.
Amen.
Oh, Bobby is on the way to the coven. Nice.
Okay,
Have a
perfect.
great time. What a great
Oh,
night to meet under a full
I was
moon,
gonna
Bobby.
say it's like the perfect night. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I love that point, Desiree.
Desiree, you have to use all four elements to bring something into fruition. Emotion is water, communication, air, action, fire, and then they all come together to create the creation of earth. Ooh,
Yes.
yes.
This is
Hmm.
exactly why when, different people do this different ways, and one of my favorite ways is crystal gridding. And I've shared videos about this on my channel, but in essence, I create a sacred space. And I grab my template, my intentions, the stones that I want to use for very specific purposes to call in the energies. And so I bring in all of my crystals, but I'm also bringing in charms. I bring in tarot cards. You could bring in oracle cards. You could bring in herbs. I have sometimes I use bay leaf
Hmm.
on in my crystal grids, and then when I activate the grid, I have earth, the crystals, right, and then we have air, and then fire, like I light the incense, and then I like to keep a little like little glass of water, and then I have all four. And
Mm,
I call in my intention and I use my wand and then I set it, send it out there into the universe. And there's so much power in doing something like that with
yes,
intention.
absolutely. Absolutely. Janet says, I just got a book about the four elements today. Look at that.
A steal. Yeah, that's amazing.
I love that.
Celtic books for study. Okay, well, how do you a bay leaf with my sage? Yeah, yeah, yep. Okay,
Hmm.
I'm gonna put this over here. So let's start. You want to start putting the names in?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
All right, everyone. I'm gonna go in order from the beginning, like to the last one that we just got now. And I'll call out the name. I'm not if I wrote like some people gave specific things and I made notes, but I'm not gonna read those out loud, right? Just know that this is your moment. When I say your name, take a deep breath, and when I drop it in, release. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Okay? Ooh, cacao drink. Yes,
Oh, that
love
sounds
that.
wonderful, Rodney.
Mm-hmm. All right, here we go. All right. Just in case. Okay. So this one is Christine. What am I in the view?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So Christine, that one curled up like a conch shell. Okay, Janet,
Mm.
that one tried to escape. You guys, spirit, man. That tried to escape. So I was gonna grab my trusty wand and get it in there. And when I look, I didn't have to because it caught on, even though it's all the way far away from the burning logs.
Oh my gosh, Janet, it tried to jump out. No, no, not under her watch. Let me tell you, she'll make sure it
No,
burns.
no. And then
Um,
it started from the center like a hole, and it just grew like this.
wow.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer that how it burns, there's a message in that too.
Yes.
Hello to Ramon who's joining us. Hi, thanks for being here.
Hello. All right. So, oh, this was mine, my release. Oh, that one shriveled. Thank you. Thank you, Spirit. And yours curled up. It looks like a canoe.
Mm, thank you.
I need water. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, Lexi, this is for you.
Oh, Lexi.
It folded over.
Turning a page. Love it. Mm-hmm.
Okay, Christine. That one curled up like a Twizzler.
Ooh.
Okay, Judith. Whoa, did you see that?
Wow, Judith. That was massive.
Did you see it?
Whoa.
Okay. All right, Renee. That one did like a pamphlet, like
Wow.
double fold. Okay, John, this is for you. That folded up like a dollar bill.
Oh, yes.
Ravneet. Here we go, my dear. Oh, that one went like in a triangle shape.
Whoa.
Like it curled from the corners like this.
Wow.
Almost like if I think about it, like when you're folding a paper airplane. Carolina, hopefully she's still here. Carolina. Oh my gosh. Carolina's did like cha, like I don't
Wow.
know how to describe that except like wrapped up
Like
like if it was a
twist.
bow. Yes. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Desiree. Oh, that one tried to fly.
Hello to Miss Tarot D joining us and Inner Knowing. Hello. Thanks for being here.
Inner knowing JJ. Gypsy JJ.
Yes.
Okay. Desi, I had to help that one out. But it's gone. It folded up. It folded up. Miss Tarot D, hello. Moon Scarab. Ramon. Sing me a song. I'm looking forward to the next one. Oh, I have to help Janet. Janet started and stopped. So no, not today, Satan.
Not today. Don't worry, Janet. That one's being stubborn, but
Woo! All right, Bobby. Bobby,
Mm,
who's driving? Yes.
mm.
You know what Bobby's looks like? Do you remember that old Oracle deck, Enchanted Map?
Yes.
That it had those weird, like, space where they put the keyword that looks like, in essence, a map that was like burned around the edges? That's what that
Yes.
one looked like.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it burned around the edges.
Yeah.
Wow. That was very powerful. And Miss Tarot D says that she's glad she didn't miss it because this has become very important to her. And
Mm,
Miss Tarot D, I've heard that from several people in the community, and thank you for sharing that because it lets Elizabeth know that that people want this, of course. But most importantly, I think that there's something here, right? This sacred space that has been created. Is doing exactly what it was intended to do, is to provide that space. Oh, there's the moon. There she is. Grandmother Moon. Hello. Oh,
okie dokie. So hopefully you can see her beauty. Oh my gosh, she's just incredible.
wow.
Yes, our micro moon. Our
I've
pink
always,
moon.
yes, the
Don't,
pink moon.
when I edit the video, I'm gonna like put a pink filter on it or a pink bow or something.
Right.
No, she's not pink. The moon,
No.
they just call it the pink moon because this is the time of year where, the first flowers, the early flowers bloom and those are pink, but it doesn't
Mhm.
actually, turn pink.
Yes.
Although that would be lovely. That
Have a
would be
good time,
amazing.
Bobby. He said he has to go be magical and stuff now.
Okay,
Okay.
Bobby.
You're always magical, Bobby.
Amazing. All right, so we got
Oh.
everyone, right?
Yes.
Awesome.
If there's anyone else here that wants to release into the fire or you want to be put into the jar for your gratitude manifestation,
Yes,
please let us know. It's not too late. We
yes.
can always add you. And like we were saying before, anybody that is joining in now, if you want to go release something as well, you don't have to say anything. You can just simply do it right now energetically um, as well.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And if you're doing that silently at home, you know, think about the things that you want to invite into your life and then, breathe in. And then as you're breathing out through your mouth, think about the things that you're letting go to, you have to let go of something to make space for the new thing,
That's right.
is how I like to think about it. So, yeah. Oh, Christine, gratitude of synchronicity, life prayer answered. That's awesome.
Hmm.
Christine. Oh, okay. Christine, Miss Tarot D.
Yes. And Rabneet. Hmm.
Ravneet.
Hmm.
And Selena is here. Hello, Selena.
Hey, Selena. Hello. Welcome, welcome
Hello.
in.
Hello and welcome. Welcome to the pink moon. Ta-da. I intend to hold my breath. Yeah.
I totally
Mm.
missed your live stream today, Miss Tiro D. I was out. I was
Wait,
out,
Miss Tarot
and
D had a live?
yeah, I know. I felt so bad. I came home and realized she had gone live, and I was like, no, I
Oh.
missed it.
Sometimes I
So,
feel like completely disconnected with everything that's going on. It's so
well,
hard.
no, I mean, we have lives outside of YouTube too, right? So that's what we're busy today. And then
Yes.
when we came back, I was like, oh no.
I had a
Um,
hectic day today, y'all. It was prom day here in the homestead, so there was a lot of prom shenanigans going on that needed to be
yes.
tended to. So yeah.
Judith has a gratitude jar as
Oh,
well.
okay, Judith.
And
Gotcha.
oh, yes. You know what? I recognize that on the Facebook thing. I noticed that you tried to call, and I was like, "Oh no, I missed your." I just got home and I messaged you back. I was like, "I'm sorry, I missed your call," and then I missed your live, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, seriously." So thank you so much for thinking of me. I appreciate that, and I'm so glad I clicked on your live that had already ended, and you had said that you were feeling really good today, and that made me so happy just to hear that. I was like, yes, yes, you're feeling good today. So I'm very grateful. I'm grateful for that you're feeling good. and that you wanted to share with us today.
Amazing. That is
Um,
amazing. All right, my beautiful friends. You know, all of our friends are here, which is awesome and amazing. But I also know that we have friends in the chat that are potentially lurking or just kind of getting to know the space. So, as a reminder, please remember to
yes,
like
yes.
and subscribe. We would greatly appreciate it. Our links are down below. And all right. So that was really powerful, and I actually feeling really good right now. And this is
Hmm.
for me like after the last 2 days were filled with so much, you know, stuff. This is a perfect way to end, all of that. Just
Yes.
peaceful, uh, and it's just beautiful. And I'm happy that I could share this with all of you.
Yes. Thank you for
Um,
creating the space. Absolutely.
mhm. All right. So, how do you feel about doing the reading for the collective?
Yes. So, as we like to wrap up the end of the ceremony here, we like to read for the collective. So we have a full moon in Libra. This comes from the Love of Spreads deck from Rochelle, Amethyst Ascension. These are the backs of the cards, and this is the front of the card. As always, Elizabeth will post this in her community tab so that you can
Mhm.
see the card and you can see the cards that we pull because we're both going to be pulling cards. This is a 5 card spread, and so again, this is for the collective under the full moon for all of us, right? So hopefully you all get some inspiration, some guidance from these cards. And just the last call as well. I see that there's 15 people watching now, which is amazing. If any
Mhm.
one of you 15 people have a release that you would like into the fire or a manifestation or gratitude into the jar, please let Elizabeth know, and I'm sure she'll be happy to accommodate. Just let us know. One last call for that, and yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and shuffle our cards and pull from here.
Oh, Stardust Dreamer. Hello. Okay, so she came from Rain's channel.
Hey, Stardust
Awesome.
Dreamer, how are you, girl?
Let go of anxiety. Okay, so hold on and let me make a note of that. And while I'm doing that, friends, you know what I wanted to say? I wanted to say I'm putting here the questions in the chat. And then, of course, Angie and I are going
Oh,
to read, right? We're going to read for the collective. But if you felt like, you know what, I want to pull cards too, for myself,
yes.
feel free while I get this, this release and put it into the fire. If you want to grab your deck, you are more than welcome to.
That's a great idea. Thank you, Elizabeth. And
Oh my God, Stardust Dreamer has a birthday too.
when's your birthday, Stardust Dreamer? Let us know. And Selena has a release as well.
Okay,
Um, the releasing the need to control everything, ask for help more. That's a really good one. I understand that. And then there was also a release from Stardust Dreamer. Oh,
okay.
yesterday was your birthday. Well, happy belated birthday, Stardust Streamer. And hello, Rain. Thank you for being here. We're just wrapping it up with the collective reading. It's a 5 card reading. And actually, I just have to excuse myself for one moment. I'll be right back.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Rain, how are you? Hello. Thank you for being here. I am just okay. So I shifted the camera a little bit so that we could see the glorious moon. But I'm gonna tilt us back a hair so that our friends can see their release going into the fire. So I'm gonna come over here. Uh, okay, so we have the release, uh, Stardust Dreamer. Okay, yes, it is completely gone, and it literally like all of them do different things in the fire, but yours started, like this, and then it just shrunk until it was completely gone. And now, Selena, ooh, that one curled up. That one curled up. It's so funny to watch what all the different. Oh, hey, Alana Banana. Hello and welcome.
Hi.
So I was just sharing that it's so interesting when you drop the name into the fire, each person does something totally and completely different. And some, like immediately, you could tell that that was ready to be released. Some of the releases don't want to let go, right? You want to let go of it, it does not want to let go of you. It tries to get away from the fire, but don't you worry because I'm here. That's why I'm here, friends, to make sure, I get it. Lexi, hello. Lexi, we put you in.
Lexi, hey.
Oh,
Yes.
Christine wants to know what is the meaning of the Twizzler. So I'm basically like calling out what I see when it curls up. Really, you could sit with that and interpret it any way that you might like.
Mhm.
But if you're ever struggling, I find that if you go on the internet and Google or whatever, and you type what is the spiritual meaning of, and then you put in your item, a lot of times it brings something back for you. And then, you
Mhm.
can see, does that resonate for me? Maybe yes, maybe no. But sometimes, even in the no, it triggers a different thought that you're like, wait, hold on. It could mean this. So you never know.
Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. And Lexi, when we put your so we put your release in and we put your manifestation into the jar as
Mm,
well. And Lexi, when she put your release into the fire, it folded in half. So as soon as she said that, I pictured turning a page, right? You're
mhm,
turning a page, yep, you're gonna move past that, okay? Whatever your release was. So
mhm.
um,
Unravel the chaos. I love that. Yes, because if you think like a Twizzler has the shape of like five thingies that are like twirled and then they're fused to create one piece. So think about the power in that. The fact that they've been together so long that they've fused together and now they're stronger. It's like a string. When it's
mhm.
just a string, it's, you could possibly pull it and break it. But if there were five strings that were bundled together, you may need assistance. Like now, you might need a knife or a scissor to cut those strings. So that's an interesting interpretation. And,
Yes.
hopefully, you're able to make something out of that. I
And
just
also
call it like I see it. Call
I
it
was
like I see
thinking
it.
like DNA strand too.
Ooh,
Like
yes.
with the that kind of helix, kind of double helix looking thing, kind
Mm-hmm.
of like a Twizzler. If you think about that, maybe there's some sort of connection there with the release.
Karen, I'm glad you took my advice. It's almost hot tub time.
Karen.
I read for her and I forgot whatever
Hey.
the card was, but it was like a person in a hot tub.
Oh,
So I'm
yes.
glad that you're doing that for yourself.
Yeah, Karen's on vacation, yeah, with her kids right now. So that's
Amazing.
cool. Yeah, Selena thought the DNA too with the Twizzler. Yep, exactly
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Oh, and Stardust Dreamer was asking what is the jar for? The jar is if you have any manifestations or intentions to put into the jar,
Ta-da.
and that jar she'll cover it and put it underneath the moonlight tonight.
I'll let it sit out in the
Right?
light of the moon, which is right there,
Yeah.
and absorb, all the energy. Really, for my intent is magnification, right?
Magnification. That's right. Illumination.
Mm-hmm.
And Stardust Dreamer wants her name in the jar as well.
Ooh, okay. I will do that
Jar
now.
love, please. Yes. Um.
Oh, oh, that's right. I'll shift it back to the moon in a second, but let me drop. Wait, what am I dropping? Oh, a gratitude, right?
Yes. Yeah.
A gratitude for.
Stardust Dreamer.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
No, that's okay.
Easily
Um,
distracted here. Give
Alana
me
says, for a minute I thought Ange was outside underneath the moon. Oh, well, you didn't
one.
realize it was. I wish I was there with her. That'd be awesome.
That would be so cool.
Oh, Aquarius Tarot Adventures. Oh, Carolina, you want one in the manifestation intention jar too? Okay.
Okay.
Carolina. And Elizabeth. Oh, Judith, please put my name in the jars. Sorry, the chat's moving. All right. Okay, sounds good.
Wait, who was the last person? The last one
Car-
that I got was Carolina. Is that right?
yes, Carolina.
Okay.
Is that and Judith as well for the jar.
Judith.
Oh, and Renee. She's been meditating for 30 days. Dang, that good for you for 30 days for a specific thing, and I'm hoping to manifest it. Well,
Oh,
you're
that's
well on your
amazing.
way. That is so
You
cool.
know what you could do? Are you in a place where you could put a bottle of water in the moonlight? Because
Mhm.
you know you could speak your intention to the water and then set it out. But here's the trick, right? You gotta get it back into your house before the sun comes up,
Yes.
and then you drink it. Then you drink it.
Hmm. That's right. Yep. And it can infuse all of your cells with those intentions, and you're literally living it in your body.
All three.
Robin
Judith.
says that her nervous system feels so relaxed. Good. That was definitely
Oh,
our intention.
amazing. Okay.
All three there's just one jar for everything, and then she'll definitely put your name in there,
Not
Judith.
well,
Thank
the
you.
release is fire, but everything, the
Hmm.
manifestation and gratitude will go in here.
Hmm.
Beautiful. Okay, we're
Robbie
good.
says, I think it's important to just appreciate and celebrate life too. This event feels like that. Absolutely. Just getting together and coming
Hmm.
together as community and celebrating one another. Yes, for sure. Janet says, almost sunset here. I built attic shelves in the hen coop since the baby slept on the door last night. Oh, listen, when I had chickens, those darn things always wanted to go up on the doors. And I always had to like shoo them off because at night here, I had to close the coop door so that rodents or coyote or fox didn't get in, right? So
Wow.
well, you're very welcome, Judith. You're very welcome. Okay, so we're going to shuffle our cards now. And for those that missed it, we're not right, excuse me, right now we're going to do a collective reading for the full moon in Libra. Again, this card is from the Love of Spreads deck from Rochelle of Amethyst Ascension. And all the information will be below.
Yes, friends. I'm going to be using the
Oh, yeah.
Sun and Moon
Yes.
tarot.
And I will be using the Galactic Star Tarot.
Right.
I love this deck.
Oh,
All right, I'm going to just cleanse the energy here. Okay. Where can I put some
and friends, I put it in the chat. Put the questions in the chat in case you want to pull cards too.
Karen says gratitude for serenity. More, please. Okay, yeah,
Karen.
yeah. Okay, so how can we embrace this energy?
It's okay, Karen.
Mm.
Okay, best embrace the energy.
All
You want
right.
me to share, Ange?
Yes.
You want me to share? Because look what I got. I got the Three of Wands. And this is such a cool. Actually, this used to be my moon deck that I used to use for all my moon readings, and I haven't used it in that way for a while, so I'm excited to have it out. Um, So we have the three of wands. This is a call of, a call to action, right? So where can I best embrace this energy? Well, by not refuting the things that you know that you have to get done. Don't fight it. The more that you like push away, the more it's gonna come at you. And sometimes in these cases it's best to just let go of whatever it is that is holding you back. Fear, lack of confidence, what if this, what if that? Like, no, forget about all of that and just do the thing that you're being called to do. You know what it is. Like, you know what it is. You feel it deep down inside. This card actually is a card of Aries, the three of wands, right?
Yep.
It's the Aries
Yep.
card. So this is fire energy. This is a call to action, and it wants you to, like, you know what you've been planning and dreaming up for yourself. So now it's time to actually do the thing.
That's right. That's right.
Hmm.
Expansion and action with the three of wands. That's great. And for the question, where can we best embrace this energy under the full moon in Libra? I have the Queen of Swords. And
Ooh.
this is very much a Libra card. This is an air sign, right? Swords are about air, and Libra is an air sign. And the Queen of Swords is all about cutting to the truth, getting really honest with yourself. Okay, um, in order to in order to implement these changes, in order to grow in life, we have to get honest. And sometimes it's very uncomfortable doing that. Remember everything that I read you. If you weren't here for it, go back and listen to everything I read to you about um, the pink full moon in Libra under the sign, right? About getting real with what is going on in our relationships, right? Are you giving too little or too much of yourself? In terms of balancing out your relationships with people and getting clear about certain things. So go back in the video and listen to everything that I said. But the Queen of Swords is really coming to show you that if you're really serious about this and if you really want to make these changes, you have to get honest with yourself. You got to get to the truth. Truth with a capital T. What does that mean for you? It's going to mean something different to all of us. Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Um,
All right. How can I bring balance to this area? How can I bring balance? I'm an Aries. I don't want balance. I want it all.
I want structure and I want it now, damn it. Nothing wrong with that either.
Oh my gosh. I see a theme here.
Yes, Libra and
Bring.
Aries are opposite signs. That's right. And we mentioned that earlier in the live, Karen. We were talking about that. And I was talking about, what that could look like, with the Aries being like kind of me first and the Libra being like, but what about us? And how we can bring that dynamic together and sort of balance that out. So thank you for mentioning that. And that's so interesting that Elizabeth did pull a fire card and I pulled an air card. And that does balance itself out. So
Mm-hmm. So bringing balance to this area. So you remember my first card was Three of Wands. So it is balanced nicely here with the Three of Pentacles. So we have the double three energy, one in the suit of fire, one in the suit of earth. Because why? Because we need grounding. We need to slow our roll sometimes. Just because you have this call of action to do the things doesn't mean like do everything at once, right? Like we have to be practical and methodical about the things that we are doing. And sometimes this means, you know what? Not by yourself. Like, it's okay to team up with another person because maybe the thing that you're struggling with is something that somebody else is really good at, and partnering can be it can be healing. It can be a source of learning and growing, like by observing how other people do something that happens to be a challenge for you. But not only that, everything is better when you do it in a team. You know, I'm doing a deck study and I started out doing it by myself, and all of a sudden I found myself doing it in a small group. and it's so much better than if I would have just done it by myself. I'm getting so much more out of it. So I feel like this is what we're talking about here, right? Like, yeah, you're being called to do whatever it is that you've been planning, but it doesn't mean like jump off the cliff there with all three things, yeah, and see where you
Right.
land. No, like like there's a way to do it, you know?
That's right.
Hmm.
Absolutely. I love that, actually. I love that. And so, what I pulled for this question, how can we bring balance into this area? I have Knight of Wands, so another fire card. And
Mm.
the Knight of Wands is, wands being about taking action, like we just talked about. And what did I just say? Like right before that, I said, balancing out that Libra and that Aries, and here we are. Here's the Libra and here's the Aries. But specifically though, to the energy of the Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is about literally taking the action, literally doing the thing, right? So how can you bring balance in it? Well, again, it's okay to get clear and honest and set the intention, but you got to take action, right? You have to take the action in order to implement things. So the balance part of it would be balancing your intention with your action, right?
Mm. Beautiful.
At first, I thought it can't be that easy of an answer here, but yeah, that's what's coming through. Like I
But
just said it.
actually, yes.
Okay.
But actually, yes. Ooh, this is a good question. Okay, where am I feeling out of sorts? Where am I feeling out of sorts? You guys do that too? Repeat the question over and over to yourself. Whoa.
Oh,
Okay, where am I feeling out of sorts? Tell me I didn't just pull the Seven of Wands.
I got a wands
Okay.
card too. Yep.
Yum. Okay. So feeling out of sorts, right? So let's take this back to the beginning. We're talking about how to embrace the energy, right? Universe is saying it's time to do the thing. Well, how can I balance that out? Well, you gotta do what you do, but like be methodical in how you're doing it and even work with other people. Well, I'm feeling out of sorts. Why? Because maybe you have a trust issue. Maybe it's difficult for you to work with others, or you sense, maybe you're sensitive to energy, and you sense that uh, perhaps other people maybe don't have uh, the intentions that you are hoping that they have towards you, whatever it is, whether it's true or perceived, right? I'm going to say that first. Whether the people are truly there, ready to kick your ass, or it just kind of feels that way and you couldn't be further from the truth, right? If it feels that way, then there's some work to be done, right? This means that there's work to be done. You're feeling out of sorts. Well, it's time to sit down with the things that are coming up for you and take a closer look, a deeper dive. Because, let me say this: when somebody does something and it doesn't sit well with you and you feel angered or triggered, then chances are that you're the one that has to do the work. They
Hmm.
could potentially just be mirroring something that you need to see, and so sometimes it takes us a minute to recognize that, right? To see that and then to take action on that. So if that's you, if you're feeling out of sorts because, oh, I don't know who I could trust, or it always feels like people are after me, or, no one is really, I feel like I have to kind of protect my energy and protect my space, ask yourself why. Why
Hmm.
that is, you know, why that is. So this card for me is, fire is a card of action. And I feel
Hmm.
like it's calling you to do the work. Like, get to the bottom of why that is that you feel the way that you do.
That is okay. Not only was that so good, but it also reminded me that, and we'll continue on with the reading, but after the reading, I have some oracle cards
Mm,
specifically that went with this energy of this Libra moon tonight that I forgot about. So we'll get to that after. But part of that was about this mirroring thing. And in here, I did say something about mirroring as well. I forget where it was now. But I wrote that down about sometimes that's what it is
mm,
we're just mirroring other stuff on other people, and then they recognize it. And anyway, so not to get off
yes.
topic, but that was really, really good. Okay, so where are we feeling out of sorts? I also have a wands card, but I have the 5 of wands. Now look at
Ooh.
all of this up in the air and all of this conflict and confusion and everything else. So, 5 of wands, okay, it's about challenges and obstacles, right? And it can be like rivalry as well. So, where we're feeling out of sorts is in the challenges and the obstacles that literally are up against us. And again, remember with this Libra full moon, we're specifically focusing on relationships with ourselves and with others and how we can bring more harmony and balance into that. And so clearly there's a lot of us right now, because we're reading for the collective, that are feeling out of sorts because we have yet to deal with these conflicts and these challenges and these obstacles with that. Okay, so again, because it's an action card, it's a fire card, it's telling us we have to take action in that area, right? In order to, again, remember setting the intention of doing the thing, but then we have to take the action with the Knight of Wands. And now it's like, okay, but what does taking action mean? Well, we got to start where we're feeling out of sorts, right? With these challenges and these obstacles. Where does it feel the most stuck? Where does it feel the most out of balance? Begin there, right? And then work your way
You
through.
know, I was gonna say that doesn't mean like you could start little. Like you don't have to be like all you don't have to
Yes.
be all Aries like taking everything that's taking you down. Like no. You could start little. You don't have to do all the things at
Right.
once.
Right.
Because when you do it in little bite-sized nuggets, it's just a little bit easier to digest
Hmm.
and to do the work and then integrate before you tackle the next thing. This
Yes.
isn't a go big or go home moment, no.
No. No, no, because when we talk about all this doing the work, this is it looks completely different for each one of us, but it also can be very taxing on our energy, right? Emotionally and physically. So, we all only have 24 hours in a day, right? So we have to be very careful about when we're doing this type of work is to leave enough energy so that we can get through our days. We can take care of ourselves and take care of our families. But at the same time, if we don't put in the work, even like Elizabeth said, just a little bit at a time, then we're always just going to be, spinning our wheels and no actual growth is going to occur.
Hmm.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Yes, doing the work takes time. Exactly, Desi. That's exactly it.
I love this next question.
Mhm.
There's so much going on in the chat. I love it. Oh, Janet, you like my shirt. Thank you. I feel comfortable in this shirt. I feel comfy.
It looks really good. Yes, I love it too.
Thank you. And
I meant
John,
to
I'm
say
not
that
even
right when
gonna
you came on, I was like, "Whoa!" Like you got your makeup and you got everything. It
cha
was just
cha
like,
cha.
"Damn,
I'm all
damn,
done.
girl. Are you
I'm
sure you're not
done
going to
up.
the prom tonight? What the
I'm
hell?"
going to the prom. I'm
Yeah,
going to the after hour.
that's right. The prom parties are always the best anyway.
Hmm. I got
Yeah.
my tiara and everything. I'm gonna just slap it on and yeah.
If I was in Florida, I would totally come and crash a prom party with you. Let's
Can
go.
you
Let's go.
imagine if we showed up? Hey, we're gonna spike the fruit punch. What is that movie? Bad Moms.
Yes, exactly. Here we come. Um, that's so funny.
Oh, okay. All right. So, how can I bring more self-love?
Yes.
How can we bring more self-love? True love. That's from my friend Bill.
Cute. Bill.
I can't. I know you're trying to concentrate, but I had to do it. True love.
Oh.
I'm to the point where I'm like, every time I film a video, I start talking to Bill. Like he's not
Look
even
at
there.
Bill's here. You
Yeah.
literally like you summoned him or something. What the hell? Hi, Bill. Oh my
Oh
god. True
my
love.
god.
Oh, that was funny. Okay. How can we bring more self love? Hmm. Ooh.
I have an interesting card, so I'm gonna take it where I feel it. I have a major arcana card for this. How can we bring in more self love? I pulled the Hierophant. I'm gonna bring it like this. Hopefully, you can see. So the Hierophant, I love this particular Hierophant, out in nature, just kind of grounded by the roots of the tree. These roots are really protruding, and there's a little animal companion there, and it just looks amazing. He has something in his hands. I'm not sure what it is. Oh, damn, I should have brought the magnifying glass. I'm gonna get a necklace for it and tie it around my neck and carry it everywhere.
I could see you doing that. Oh my god.
I don't know what's wrong with me tonight. Okay, hold on. So, you know, how do we how do we bring in more true love? Like sometimes we just don't know how to do it. We just don't. Like so I'm like, "Oh, I need to do some self-care, some self-love. Let me slap on a face mask." And then 5 minutes later it's like, "Is the timer go off yet? Is it time? Is it time?" Like, I want to take this thing off. So, I really feel like sometimes we need spiritual guidance on how to do the things that we should do in order to honor where we are in the journey and to provide love and support for ourselves because sometimes we don't have that circle of people that could help us out when we need it, right? Either they disagree with your way of life or the choices that you've made, or any multitude of reasons, and you end up feeling alone. And when you feel alone, I mm, did a short the other day, and it was with the soul music oracle cards, and it was that song "Lean on Me." And I don't know if you remember that song, "Lean on Me when you're not strong, and
Mhm.
I'll be your friend," right? That was
Oh,
such a great song. I'll help you carry on. Sometime,
mm,
and then somebody wrote to me and said, "I wish I had a friend," and my heart like broke into a million pieces because, you know, there's always somebody that you could reach out to. And I know that in this community it's hard, right? Because these are all people and you meet, you interact with them, you exchange in the chat, but it's not like you have a problem and, oh, let me pick up the phone and call John Savage and tell him what's happening in my life and maybe he has a word of wisdom. Something like we don't take it to that next level, right? So sometimes we do need a little bit of guidance uh in order to determine what's the best way. Self-care and self-love doesn't need to be throw on a face mask or take a bubble bath. The first things that come to your mind, like maybe showing yourself self-care is listening to yourself.
mhm,
I shared a story the other day. My body was physically tired, but the masculine side of me was like, you can't be taking a nap right now, you got a million things to do, stop talking crazy and let's get back to work. And then my feminine side was like, "Oh, but please." Like, think about how much better you would feel if you just did this one thing for yourself. You would feel recharged. Your eyes wouldn't feel so tired. Maybe your headache would go away, blah, blah, blah. And sometimes we don't want to listen to ourselves, right? So sometimes we do. We need some spiritual guidance in whatever way, shape, or form that comes through in order to do the thing. And it doesn't have to be this big, outlandish thing.
Yep.
Sometimes, there's a million things going on. No, I don't have 30 minutes or 40 minutes to sit in a tub and soak there because as soon as I
Yeah.
get in there, I'm like, okay, did I soak long enough? Is it can I go now? Like
Are we there yet?
yeah. And I'm gonna go there and it's like after sex, like how long do we have to cuddle? Like can
Yeah.
we just
Pass
can
me
we
the
move
towel.
on? Yeah. So sometimes like we want to do these things for ourselves, but then we're like in a rush. Like we're in a rush to do the next thing. So
Yeah.
sometimes we need a little bit of guidance. Like uh oh geez. So yeah, that's what I have. I'll stop there. I promise.
That's that's awesome. I love that. The question again was, how can we bring more self-love? And I have the 10 of discs or the 10 of pentacles. So,
Ooh.
yes. So, what I gathered from this, specifically relating to what we're talking about here tonight, is bringing more self-love means please stop and give yourself credit for how far you have come, for
Yes.
the things that you have overcome, and for the things that you have accomplished. And also, remembering the people that have been here along the way, whether they've been here to help you or they've been here to sort of remind you of all the things that you've overcome, right? I think we forget how far we've come. Sometimes I think we forget how many things that we've accomplished and overcome in our lives. So the 10 of Pentacles does remind us that. Remember, the Pentacle suit is Earth, and that's about grounding. So um, stay grounded in how far you've come, right? I always say you
Hmm.
didn't come this far to only come this far, right? So don't give
Yes.
up. And doing the work, like Desi said in the chat, it takes time, right? And that's okay. But also when you feel like you're so frustrated with, like, you don't feel like you've come far enough, just remember how far you have come, right? And that'll give you momentum to keep going on with it. So whew.
I love that, Ange, and I was like thinking that a big part of that too is gratitude because sometimes like we forget, just how far we've come, and we need to be reminded. I don't know, maybe like uh something I like to do in my journal, like every month I write down 3 things. And sometimes I struggle. Sometimes I struggle, but I make it a point to at least write down 3 things. Some people have a nightly practice or a weekly practice. Anytime that you could do that, because if not, sometimes I go back in my journal. I do like a monthly recap every month, and then I go back and I look at all the things, and I'm like, wow, I forgot I did that. Like, oh, that was so cool. So give yourself credit because, we're all doing the best that we can. And sometimes our best is getting out of bed and brushing our teeth.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe that day, that's our best. That was
Hmm.
our self care, you know?
Right. Yes,
So,
exactly. I agree. I
yeah.
agree. Okay, and we have one more question
Hmm.
to answer for our 5 card reading, and then after this, I would like to show some oracle cards that I pulled
Oh,
that I
yes.
forgot to show earlier. And
Fun.
when Elizabeth mentioned the mirroring part again, I'm like, oh yeah, because actually that's one of the oracle cards that came up, believe it or not. So
Oh,
yeah,
that's awesome.
yeah.
All
All
right.
right.
So, listen, look at this. I didn't read ahead. Where do I need stronger boundaries? Didn't we just talk about boundaries?
Yes.
Crazy.
Yes.
Okay. Where do we need stronger boundaries?
Okay. Oh.
I have a good card. I mean, aren't they all?
Mm-hmm.
Aren't they all? Okay. So, oh, I'm sorry, Ange. Did you want to go? Are you
Oh
ready?
no, 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 no. Go ahead. I
Okay.
was just reading. There's a couple people tonight that had said that the split screen is so good tonight that they think that I'm sitting in your backyard with you.
Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, wait, where'd the moon go? See, it's already shifted like into the other side. Let me see.
There she
There,
is.
there. I'll move this light out of the way. Over here. All right. So I pulled the Seven of Swords. So we know, like, immediately I have to smile because, in the traditional deck, that's that fantastical character, that has the swords and they're making off like a bandit and you don't know what is happening. Like, are they taking something that, belonged to them? Are they taking something that didn't belong to them? Are they trying to throw somebody else off? Like, what exactly is happening? So I'm using the Sun and Moon tarot, and although most of the cards are RWS, this deck is thought inspired, right? And so the depiction of the Seven of Swords is very different. So let me show you. Now, if you're not aware, this was one of the first decks that I modded, and I was completely out of control. I just went nuts with the scissor and chopped it all off, and then I chopped off all the keywords on the top of the cards for them because I was like, I'm not a thoth reader, but I like this deck and I'm just going to make it work for me, right? But the keyword for this card is actually futility, right? This is a card of Aquarius, okay? And so the keywords are recklessness, misguided efforts, negative thinking, a fickle mind, deceit, self deception, useless, futile plans. Okay, that's a lot. So when you start thinking about where you need stronger boundaries, drawing a card like this makes me wonder, where am I being fickle in the things that I need to do? Where is it that I'm just kind of being reckless, not making a decision? Maybe I'm afraid and I just don't even want to take the next step forward. Maybe I'm telling myself this is all going to blow up in my face and I don't want to do the next step because that's just going to be the beginning of the end. Like, who knows, whatever it is.
Yep.
So, stronger boundaries. We're getting this card of swords. This is a card of air, card of thought, mindset, your mental space, clarity. This is communication. As I think about all those things, our thoughts are very, very powerful. So if in the back of your mind you're telling yourself, like, look at the look on that guy's face. If you're telling yourself, like, I can't do it, I'm not strong enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not skinny enough. I'm not, stylish enough. I'm not young enough. I'm not whatever, right? If you're doing that, just having that thought in the back of your mind, that starts to plant that seed. This is a time where you want to say to yourself, you know what? No, I cancel the thought. I cancel the thought. I cancel the thought. Hey,
Yeah.
Han,
And
welcome. So, where you need stronger boundaries, start with your mental space, right? What are the things that float around in your mind that hold you back from doing the things that you truly want to do for yourself? Remember, go back to the beginning of the reading. We started with the three of wands and three of pentacles, double threes. So, where I feel like a lot of times we're holding ourselves back.
yep.
We're holding ourselves back.
Like that Eight
So,
of Swords. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yes, it is very much like the Eight of Swords. And sometimes we don't want to deal with our current situation, so we distract ourselves with nonsense.
Yep. Is this a personal
So
reading?
yeah, and I'd be like, yeah, Jaden, here, this is
Yeah,
for you.
right. Exactly. Oh, it's so true. So
Oh,
true.
so yeah, that's what I have.
That's really good. Before I show the card I got, I just want to add, as soon as you showed it to me, I thought, ooh, sometimes Seven of Swords can mean like dishonesty. And sometimes where we need boundaries, stronger boundaries is, of course, if others are being dishonest with us, but more importantly, where are we being dishonest with ourselves? And remember when I pulled originally the Queen of Swords for the very first question, which was where can we best embrace this energy? It was all about being honest with yourself, right? Cutting to the truth
Mm,
of the matter. And so the Seven of Swords just kind of reminded me of that as well, and everything, of course, that you've added with it. And
absolutely.
so again, to remind you all, the last question is where do we need stronger boundaries? And remember, I pulled the Ten of Pentacles for the previous question, and now we have the Ten of Cups. So
Hmm.
where do we need stronger boundaries? Well, cups are about emotions, so definitely we need stronger boundaries around our emotions, but specifically our relationships. With the people that are around us. Quite frankly, that is where we need our stronger boundaries. Okay, because the Ten of Cups is all about that total love and support. It can be about family, but family can be who you call family, family, friends. But that is where we need the boundaries the most right now as a collective, and it can be hard to establish these boundaries with the people that we love. But it's crucial, right? Because otherwise, and remember, going back full circle to what we're talking about, what does it even mean under this full Libra moon? It is about checking closely in with your emotional clarity, your harmony and balance in your lives, specifically with relationships with others. Where are you giving too much or too little of yourself, right? It's a great time to
Hmm.
set boundaries in relationships and release those imbalances where you've been over giving. Okay, so we have to be careful with that. um,
That's a theme. There's
it
a
keeps
theme of
coming
that.
up, right?
There were a couple of
Yes.
people tonight in the chat that said that that's what they wanted to release.
Yep, that's right. Woo, that was a really good reading. Whoa, so
Yes.
good. Oh gosh. Okay, and then as always, I'll take a picture of the cards that I have, and same with Elizabeth,
Mm.
and then she'll post them on her community tab. So I'm saying that out loud so I don't remember, so I don't shuffle them into the deck. Okay, so I'll keep them right there.
Yeah.
Um, and so in the previous shows that we've done, the rituals that we've held, sometimes I have oracle cards that present themselves. And so, I'll always say to Elizabeth, like, I'm not sure if these cards are going to present themselves. You know, for those that know, I have like a really large deck collection. And sometimes, it can be overwhelming to, like, go through all the decks to find a card that could represent what we're talking about. So I don't want to put that stress onto myself. So I always say, okay, if there's cards that are meant to, as I'm working with decks, throughout the time between now and our next live, they'll present themselves, and they always do. And this time around, I actually went to my pendulum, and it's funny because Elizabeth didn't even know I did this, and she's like, "I can see you with your big old collection and your and your pendulum going around. Okay, which deck is it?" And I'm like, "That's exactly what I did. How did you know that?" That's exactly it. And the deck that I was called to is Rebecca Campbell's "Work Your Light" Oracle, and so here are the cards that presented themselves. So the first one is align your life. What is no longer in alignment with who you truly are? And I love this card. Look at how she's kind of like
Ooh,
fractured, and it's talking about
yes.
aligning yourself. And the specific message that jumped out for this one is um, let go of who you once were or the things that you once defined yourself by. So the job, the relationship, the mask that you wore, and embrace who you truly are now, to courageously step into the person that you came here to be in full authenticity. Remember, we're talking about that. It's more important to be authentic than it is to people please, right? to embrace your weirdness and your uniqueness. I love that too. Perhaps you have outgrown some relationships or circumstances, and it's time to reassess and bring all parts of your life into alignment so they're congruent with who you truly are today. And again, remember, we're talking about relationships, and and so it's okay if you've outgrown some relationships. If some people have just come into your life for a short amount of time, there is nothing wrong with that. Okay, so we just have to be true to who we are and stay in alignment with who we are. Right? Like and subscribe, please. Thank you. Absolutely. Um, and then the other card that came up, which I mean, it goes perfect with what we're talking about here. Here's that word again, boundaries. Okay, and it says here, where do you need to establish better boundaries? And that's amazing because I didn't even realize actually when I was going through these cards that this question that we just pulled on where do we need stronger boundaries, and here it says, where do you need to establish better boundaries? And so this card in the deck says, you are being called to create clearer boundaries in your life. This could be with your friends, your family, or at work. Saying yes when you really mean no leads to resentment. Again, that's to that people pleasing part that I talked about
So,
in the beginning,
so good. Yes.
which is the biggest energy drain ever. At first, it might only be a little bit and not feel like a big deal, but before you know it, your energy field becomes porous and you are left feeling depleted, resentful, and taken advantage of. Saying no and having clear boundaries is actually a spiritual act. The most giving, loving, compassionate people are those with the clearest boundaries. So it could also tie back into that what can we do but more for self-love? Well, boundaries, right? Like we said. Um uh for when they say yes, they're able to give unconditionally. When your boundaries are clear, others know where they stand and you're able to give freely. If you are not clear where your boundaries lie, then this causes confusion, resentment, and energetic cords to be planted. If you are saying yes when you really mean no, you are likely needing something yourself. So ask yourself, what part of me needs something from them? It could be a need for approval, a fear of being seen a certain way, or a fear of loss. The best way to gauge your boundaries is to check in with your belly. Your belly is the second brain. It has an intelligence known as gut feelings. Tune into the space when deciding what is okay for you. How does it feel and what is it trying to communicate? Whew, that was a mouthful, but I felt it was so important to share that.
That was so good.
And it's honestly like when I'm choosing these cards, like I'm not really thinking through too much. I literally call the spirit which ones, and I'm kind of drawn to it. And then as I'm reading them, I'm like, oh, that actually really fits in with things that we've already discussed here, which is great.
Mhm.
And so there's two more, but I don't have as much to share with each of these. But this one says, don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? And again, this can go back to that people pleasing thing, right? So we have to be careful with that. All relationships are essentially an energetic agreement. The moment one person decides to start rising up and allowing their light to shine, it changes the energetic agreement and can create some waves. And that's completely normal. The relationships that are meant to last will adapt to this change and this energy. Others won't because they're likely born under the provision of I love you as long as you don't shine brighter than me. That's
Oh.
okay. Not all people are meant to be in your life forever, but the lessons they teach us can still live on. Boom.
Mm.
That that's potent right there.
Truth bomb.
Boom. If I had a mic, I'd drop it. and, then, and then we end with the one that actually triggered the memory to read these cards is when Elizabeth was mentioning the mirroring thing. And it says, mirror, who or what is triggering you? Okay, because again, when we're talking about relationships, this is very important. The filter of our own experience is how we experience life 90% of the time through our own projections. When someone reminds us of an unhealed experience, we get triggered, and often it's an unconscious thing. People and situations can trigger our mirrors to reflect back to us what we believe to be true about life, the universe, and ourselves. Mirrors pointing to our shadow and our light. Mirrors revealing the parts of us that are yet to be accepted, witnessed, or loved. This card is guiding you to look closely at what experiences or people are currently triggering in you and what they could be mirroring back to you. When have you felt like this before? Could they be opportunities to heal something in you, or are they shining a light on something that longs to be witnessed in you? This goes for the good and the bad. The good, well, those who we admire and put on a pedestal. If we do not realize that we're attracted to them because we are like them, we will need to cut them down in order to rise to their level. And the bad, those we despise, are envious of, and put down. If we do not realize that they trigger something in us, then it is still yet to be healed and will remain hurt and wounded ourselves. Whew. Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah,
Um,
but I feel like those cards were perfect.
Yeah. That's what I
Mhm.
mean. Like I just sometimes I want to be like the Virgo, and overthink it all and like I want to go through all the decks and find the perfect cards for the evening, but at the same time I'm like, "No, girl, don't do that. Just it will come. If there are messages, it will come." And this deck, and I haven't actually, I'll be honest, I haven't picked up this deck in a long time. I've had it for a while, but it's not one I really regularly work with and I have not picked it up in a while. So the fact
Mm,
that it wanted to come out, I was like, "Okay, yeah." So those are
that's
some pretty
amazing. Yeah.
whew, potent messages there. So we've covered a lot here tonight. Wow.
I agree, and it feels really good. And actually, I have to say, right? Um, I probably share this every single time. I enjoy doing these, and I'm
Yes.
always happy to do it. I'm always happy to share space, and I wanted to do it uh for a reason that was bigger than me. I
Hmm.
wanted to do it because I felt like we could all use it collective. And
Yes.
I'm a human person just like anybody else, and there are days that I'm struggling a little bit, right? And
Yes.
today was a hard day for me. Today was a hard day, and I was feeling a certain kind of way, and I've been very emotional today. And now, just doing this together with all of you, I feel so much better. I feel happier. I feel more optimistic. And uh, so, even though this all started because I wanted to do something special for others, I find a healing for myself as well. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Every time that we do this, I absolutely do benefit myself personally, and it's obvious that others benefit because we have so much feedback that we do receive from others as well. Um,
Mhm.
so I love that. I love that, and that's so true in life. Sometimes we do start off by doing certain things thinking that we're in service of others when actually, and it goes back to that mirroring thing, sometimes it comes just bouncing right back to us. It's like, yes, you're putting this out there because this is what you need too, and
Mhm.
in that service, you're actually serving others as well. So it's a
Yes.
beautiful thing. Thank you so
Mm.
much.
I want to give a special shout out to my boy who always comes out here and helps me every
Yes.
time I get like persnickety about the fire. What the hell? It's all smoke. Where's the actual fire? What's happening? And then he'll be like,
You
he'll come out, fix it, and then he'll leave. And I'm like, okay, don't go
Thank
too
you,
far.
Jaden. Thank
Don't
you.
go too far. I might need you.
That's right. Exactly.
Eh, this is my most favorite time of the night as we start to wrap up this event because the fire is like perfection at this time. So, yes, somebody was saying earlier about s'mores. This is the perfect fire for s'mores.
Yes.
And, this is my birthday eve.
Yes.
And also, it's Mr. Root's birthday eve. And
Yes.
also, it's Simply Hand's birthday eve.
All three of them have the same birthday. It's
We all have
tomorrow.
the same birthday tomorrow. So, tonight, I plan to sit here and enjoy this beautiful fire with a
Yes.
glass of vino and think about
Yes.
the first, you know, half a century of my life and where I want to pivot and navigate towards in my next half a century.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
powerful.
Mhm.
Yes, happy, happy, happy early birthday to you, my friend.
Mhm.
I just I value your friendship. I can't believe how much we sort of, have in common. I mean, right down to the actual birthday. Not just the day. No, no, not just the day. The month, the day, the year. Um she shares a birthday with my husband, which when I learned that, I was like, and we didn't learn that till like a little bit further into the friendship. So I was like,
Mhm.
damn, okay, what the hell? And that's just one of many things. But I just, yeah, like you're a very special person to me. And I wish you, oh, I'm gonna start crying. Ah, stop. But I wish you nothing but the best in this solar return. Yes, it's gonna be with its challenges, but you have some really good friends that you can count on. A couple of them are here in the chat tonight. So
Yeah.
I wish you all the best.
Thank you, thank you.
Ah,
Thank you, friends. Thank you for all of your energy, for your love, for your support, for supporting this event.
mm,
Uh, and yeah, I think I will say good night
yes.
and until next time.
All right. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks for being here.
Bye.
Bye.